Today, it's time to get schooled. And speaking of today, did you know that on this day, September 13th, 1971, an uprising at Attica Correctional Facility in New York State ended when an armed assault by state police killed 29 inmates and 10 hostages. The ordeal began 5 days earlier when 1,300 inmates in the Attica prison called out the abuses of their incarceration by seizing control and taking dozens of hostages. Their bold and hopeful protest shed a light on a system that had been built upon brutality and dehumanization. The inmates called out for adequate medical care, better rations, and, most of all, dignity. They were being fed on 63 cents a day. Days of negotiation showed promise, but New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller had run out of patience. He ordered the armed retaking of Attica. Certain reforms that were agreed to were overshadowed by the apparent senseless violence. What seems to be the powerful lesson of this little tale is that speaking truth to power seems to come with a cost. According to the Slang Dictionary, speaking truth to power means standing up for what's right and by telling people in charge what's what. It is an expression for courageously confronting an authority, calling out injustices on their watch, and demanding change. Sounds a whole lot like the early patriots who called out the king and parliament on the streets of Boston and Philadelphia back in 1776. Patrick Henry's cry, "Give me liberty or give me death," doesn't sound to me like someone passively accepting an injustice. Speaking truth to power has always been front and center in American politics. Just check out the First Amendment. Despite the tragedy on September 13th, 1971 in the Attica prison, reforms were put in place to address the indignities once commonplace in our prisons. Psst, it's PROLOG with Mr. Review. It's a podcast that is actively digging tons of earth to find an ounce of gold, striving for a more perfect union.